Welcome to the Texas Art Institute Library and Learning Resource Center tutorial on PowerPoint, the Slide Master and Slideshow. So we've created several slides over the past few videos, and you may have noticed that sometimes your institution will have a theme that they would like you to apply or a template to use. And you can see that sometimes they're in a wider format, sometimes they're in a narrower format. And you can make those changes in your design tab. So I'm going to go up to the top where it says design, and you can see here a bunch of different built-in themes that are here. And then there's also some options to do a little bit of changing. I would always come here first to slide size and do this before you start your presentation, because anytime you change, you'll end up either cutting things off or squishing them. So here I can tell that in this presentation I have 4 different themes applied. I have, this one is on slides 1 through 5. This one is on slide 6. This one is in slide 7. And this one is on slide 8. So here I can tell which ones I've applied in this particular presentation. These 2 custom ones I've added myself from a theme that I got from my institution. These are the built-in office themes here. So how does that work? I have here a slide that has title and content placeholders. And if I come up to design, I can apply one of these themes by clicking. I would apply it to all slides, but if I right click and apply to selected slides, I'm only applying it to this one slide. The rest of the slides stay the way that they are. So here now I have a slide that is in my institution's format. Now, I like to make sure that I'm putting a citation on every slide. So one way you can do that is go into the Slide Master and add a little box for your citation. So to do that, you go to View and then open up the Slide Master. It's here under Master Views. There's also a Handout Master and a Notes Master. So if you use these features, you can change those there. Here you'll see all the different slide themes that I have. You remember there were 4. So there's a master for every one of those themes. This is the one that I'm interested in at the moment. And this is the main master here. And you can see that the logo is on this slide. So if I needed to add a logo to another theme, you would want to do it in the main master. Each of these, you cannot change it because it is on the main master. So if I want to add an element, I can click on one of these content slides. And here under Slide Master, there is Insert Placeholder. You can add a content box like these that are here, a text box, a picture, or one of these individual content types. So this content includes all of the content types. I'm going to use text to make it a text box. And I'm just going to put it here and make sure that the edges of that box align with the different elements that are there. It'll put in a default font based on that style. I'm going to get rid of the lower levels. And then if I click on the box itself, I can change everything in that box. Go to Home, because that's where all of the font options are. Use the font that has been assigned to this theme, but I'm going to make it smaller, a 12 point, get rid of bold, get rid of the bullet point. So see bullet point, no bullet point. I'm going to also align it on the right side of my box, and I'm going to align it to the bottom part of that box so that this is where the default, it would start. But if there were 2 lines, it would go up higher, and if it needs to, it can go towards the left. But otherwise, it's going to anchor here. And then here you can add some text that will let people know. click to add citation, and that will appear on your slide when you do a new one. And if I want to use this on multiple slides, I can copy, Control C. So I selected the box, Control C copy here, and I can just Control V paste, go through all the content slides and paste it onto all of those. This one is also a content slide. This is not a content slide, so I'll skip that one. And from here then, if I want to go back, I need to make sure I'm in the Slide Master tab, and then I can close the master view. So now I need to apply that new layout that I just made by going here to Layout, and then pick the title and content that I added. And you can see it has the click to add citation here, and then we can put your citation information there. Obviously you'd put first author, maybe the year, the journal title. At a minimum, I think that would be what you would put. And then if you've got some space or some time, put the volume and the page number. So that's a little quick intro to the Slide Master. I wouldn't mess with it too much if you actually have an institutional template, because that takes care of a lot of those things. You don't need to mess with them. So while you're giving your slideshow, there are a lot of different things that you can be doing. You can start your slideshow from here on the top left. It says start from beginning, which is F5, so you see that here. Or you can start from this current slide, which is the one down here at the bottom, start from current slide. So that's that one. And then to advance, you can do any one of these. N, enter, page down, down arrow, space bar to go to the next slide. And then the same with previous slide. You can do the left arrow, page up, P, up arrow, backspace. So go forward, go back, go forward. You can be using your mouse or your keys. Go to slide number. You can press the number 1 and enter, and you'll go to the first slide again. Click through, back to where we are. If you want to look at a thumbnail of the different slides and pick that way, you can hit the minus key or the hyphen and choose the slide that you want to go to from there. If you want to go to a blank slide, you push B and then escape to return, W for white or comma, escape, ESC to come back. And if we want to end the presentation, get out of presentation mode, you hit escape and we're back in editing mode. A couple other things, I'm going to go back. You can right click and you'll see some pointer options. You can give yourself a laser pointer without having to actually have a laser pointer. You can have a couple of pens so you can draw on there. You can change the ink color, have a highlighter. So a few things here, and then some of those other options are here. Another thing you can do is go down to the bottom left and you'll see you have slide controls here, backwards and forwards. Here's your laser pointer. You can turn it off from here if you want. You can turn it on. You can change its color, make a green laser pointer. Oh, that's a pen, but anyway, yeah. Turn that off. You can pick your slide from here. This is the slide, and you can also zoom from here if you need to show something with a little bit more detail, like if it's a small font. And this is an interesting feature that's new. You can use subtitles. So while I'm speaking, it should be able to put that text on the screen, as you see here. All right. So those are some cute things that you can do while you're to control your presentation while you're giving it. So how do you carry it with you to where you're giving your presentation? You can bring just your PPTX file, but you can also do these other things. From the file menu, you have save as options, but you also have export options. And a lot of these will overlap. The save as and the export are overlapping options. So you can quickly create a PDF, and that is something nice to have in an emergency, that you can at least present from the PDF. You can make a video with timings and use that so that you don't have to be clicking through the whole time. You can use PowerPoint to make GIFs. You can package for a CD, and this is useful if you think that you may have problems with your videos or your audio or the fonts that you've chosen. Like if you have a font that you've paid for, but you're not sure that the computer that you're presenting on is going to have that font, this package for CD is a good option because then it brings all of that with you at once. You can create handouts in Word, and you can put each slide with notes, different or with blank lines, but all this will go into Word, and that way you can edit it there. So your notes can be there on the slides in Word, and you can paste it today, or you can paste the link so that if you update the PowerPoint, it'll also update that Microsoft document. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. File, export. You have change file type. So this is the default PPTX. If you really need to be retro compatible, there is this option still. If you're making a template, here is the .potx. And then there is also a PowerPoint picture presentation where each slide is a flattened picture. So this is something that if you are worried about people being able to edit your slides. You can also export each slide as a PNG or as a JPEG. And this is one thing that I think is kind of nice, the PowerPoint show. So if you have your PowerPoint saved as a .ppsx, when you open it, it won't open in editing mode, it'll open directly in show mode. So here it is showing you the presentation without actually having to start the presentation, so they don't see the editing part of it. All right. So those are all under the export option. And yeah, so these layouts that are in here, I just stuck them in so that you could see that you would be able to see each of them in the design tab and also in the layout option. So if you right click on a slide, you can change the layout from here. See the different kinds of layout that are available. Also, when you do new slide, you will see all of those themes and the available layouts there. So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions about PowerPoint, be sure to look us up and ask away. Thanks.